My Iron Man has been doing a variety of boss combat achievements for Elite tier. There are 6 tiers of combat achievements, Elite being the 4th. I have no immediate plans for Master or Grandmaster, however, Elite is pretty easy to get as long as you do a little bit of each boss. Elite CAs do have good rewards. In my opinion, the best one being Slayer Superiors, going from a 1 in 200 chance to 1 in 150. I want this long term, but there is another benefit for short term, which is why I decided to do Elite CAs now. I want to start killing Bandos for my melee upgrades, and Elite CAs will require me to only need 30 kill count to enter the boss room instead of 35 or 40. With 3 Sires killed and 3 CAs done, that is Elite CAs completed. Bandos is pretty straightforward and easy with the Bofa. There are 2 methods that utilize essentially the same thing, which is kiting around Bandos so he never attacks you, while hitting as often as possible. The method that I'm currently doing is called 7-0 Bandos, which essentially means that each lap I attack Bandos 7 times while he attacks me exactly 0. Bandos has a 90-second respawn timer, which means we essentially spend more time each hour waiting for him to respawn rather than killing him. This does give us good time to heal up on the minions though, because once the Major is dead, we simply Blood Barrage the Ranger and Melee together, and ideally heal to full health each kill. Once the minions are dead, we simply go back to the start tile and wait an extra 30 to 60 seconds for him to respawn. Because I'm an Iron Man, I have an instance room versus mains, which prevents me from hopping worlds. If I were to hop worlds, I would log back in outside of the room because it's an instance, and I would have to get 30 kill count to enter again, so it's better to just wait for him to respawn. One thing to understand about Bandos is how red Xing works, otherwise this method would simply not work. Whenever I run to the bottom of the room, I have to run through Bandos to get to the next shooting tile. The reason I brought a cannon in the room is because when I click the cannon, my click is red rather than yellow. This is called red Xing. If you red X while going through Bandos, he will be unable to move while you're under him, which means your character will always leave from under him 2 tiles away, making him unable to hit you. This is pretty much the entire method. We just leave on prey range for the minions, and once Bandos is dead, we heal off of them and repeat the same thing 90 seconds later. My first ever Bandos trip, 17 kills and I ran out of ranging potions. I only brought 2, which was about 40 minutes because I expected to make some mistakes, but shockingly, I guess since the method was really just as simple as clicking tiles and attacking, I managed to get through all of it with no issues. My second trip, I managed to forget my cannon, so I decided to try out another method, which is called 6-0 Bandos, where you attack Bandos 6 times each cycle, and he again hits you exactly 0. The nice thing about this method is that you don't need to remember a cannon or an item to drop for red Xing, as everything you use is already in the room. I changed my tile markers up and made my way in. The idea behind this method is to use the altar for red clicking when going north and the door when going south. Alright, well, I just did not like that method. I may not have really given 6-0 a chance, but the 7-0 method took me less than 1 minute to learn, so I am probably just going to stick to this method the whole way. Another nice addition that I added this trip is that we brought some water runes so that we can cast Ice Barrage on the meleeer and just kind of AFK Blood Barrage while camping prey range. You can usually just flick between prey range and melee, but this makes it a lot more AFK and easier. Yes! 42 kills in and we already got our chest plate. The only drops I care about here are the chest plate and Tassets. I want my best melee gear before Torba. I am officially a General Garage Door Adept, meaning we are 50 kills in. Well, that's not Bandos Tassets. 56 kill count, I got Bandos boots, which I will probably never use, but now all I need is Tassets. I have elite CAs with no intentions of going for masters for the time being. However, there is no reason to do some free CAs if I can. Now that I'm a few trips in, I'm going to go for Org Killer. which is to kill the general 15 times in a row in one instance. I mentioned earlier that Iron Man already have an instance versus main accounts. However, for this CA, I have to specifically pay for an instance, so ideally I'll only have to do this once. 89 total KC and a free CA complete. 100 kills in now, and for the most part, I am locked in to finish off my 3 to 4 range spots every trip before running out of food or prayer, which means Bandos is now consistent 90-minute trips. Without including the time to bank and set up to get here, this is about 24 to 25 kills per hour. Ooh, in that same trip I managed to do keep away as well, which is to kill the general without taking any damage from the boss or bodyguard. I did just can't pray range the whole time. I guess I just had good enough RNG to where the major Melior didn't hit me before I killed the boss. 198 kill count now, and I just got my first Godsword Shard 1 from a minion. With my immediate goals, I don't necessarily want a Bandos Godsword yet, but if I were to get a hilt along the way to Tassets, I wouldn't necessarily be upset about it. The hilt is 1 in 508, while Tassets are 1 in 381, so the odds are decent that I'll see the Tassets first and just head out. Godsword Shard 3 has been found. Ooh, that's a good one. 242 kill count, and I officially only need Tassets. 250 kills in. I got my first dupe, which was a second pair of Bandos boots at 362 kill count. 462 kills and more Bandos boots. I really didn't expect to make it to 500 kill count, but I guess PvM does that sometimes. Surely we'll get the Tassets soon enough. Are you serious? That was hilt number 2. 559 kills, chestplate number 2. This took longer than expected, but I just got my last Godsword shard, so I can officially create 1 BGS now. Kills 700. Another hilt. And a humble 4 kills later. Are you kidding me? The chestplate is a 1 in 16k drop from minions. Just okay. I might have lost a couple clips, but just to review the log at 704 KC, 4 chestplates, 5 hilts, 3 boots, and never lucky on Tassets. This log is insanely good for anyone who needs GP, but since I'm an Iron Man, all of these dupes are pretty much useless. The right way to review the log would have been waiting until my 705th kill, where we get another hilt. Now in one trip, I have 2 hilts, 1 chestplate, and 2 Godsword shards. Still no Tassets. I mentioned earlier that elite CAs only require me to have 30 kill count to enter the boss room. Getting original kill count at Bandos is pretty easy and quick. However, if done right, you can speed up your overall kills per hour by leaving the room and rejoining mid-trip. Each Bandos kill is Bandos himself plus 3 minions, a total of 4 Bandos kill count. Since we're here for so long per trip, we're going to be above 30 Bandos kills multiple times. When this happens, we can immediately leave the Bandos room when he dies and re-enter to save ourselves from waiting the 90 seconds for respawn. It might sound small, but given that you spend so long waiting for respawn when killing Bandos, I found myself getting roughly 5 to 10% better kills per hour over the course of a day when I did this consistently. Kill number 769. Another hilt. That was hilt number 7. Kill number 850. Feels weird, I haven't had a drop in a while. There we go, back to normal trips where I get dupes of items I already have. I never would have imagined killing Bandos 1000 times for Tassets, but here we are, entering the 4 digits. 1.1k kills and still nothing. I haven't had a drop in over 200 kill count, so hopefully we should be do something very soon. Or not, but here is 1200 KC. There we go. The dry streak was broken with my 8th Bandos hill. At this point, I've just become numb to other drops and accepted that my account just is not meant to have Bandos Tassets. But I need to continue the grind just to see how high I can really go before I get them. The answer is at least 1400. Chestplate number 6. I have officially killed 1,500 general garage doors. Do not make a hardcore, ladies and gentlemen. Been a while since I've seen these, but I just got my 4th pair of Bandos boots. I can't just not give you guys an episode without a skilling update, right? Here is 30 mil range XP. Oh my god, I'm actually done! Dude, it's real! I made one Bandos God Sword, and I know in recent PvM videos, you guys asked me to show the loot, so here we go. 1,576 Bandos kills took me about 71 hours, and here's the total loot. 365 mil including my crazy RNG on dupes. 8 hilts, 4 chest plates, and 4 boots before my Tassets. Of course I didn't loot everything, but I tried to pick up alks when I could, and of course the cash drops were easy to loot since I had so much downtime between kills anyway. With Bandos out of the way, I finally can have clear goals for what I want next. So, some of this grind I started before or during the Bandos grind when I wanted a break from it, so my gear will not be fully upgraded in some clips. But I want to start focusing on Nuridel Slayer and getting all of the useful PvM upgrades on Slayer tasks. The first thing that I got was Greater Demons, which I extended, and I can kill Tormented Demons as they count as a Greater Demon. These guys can drop Burning Claws at a 1 in 500 rate and a Synapse at a 1 in 500 rate. 2 Burning Claws are needed to use them for PvM, and my goal is to always be doing these on task until I have Burning Claws. I want at minimum 1 Synapse for an Emberlight, which is best in slot against most demon bosses, and if I were to somehow spoon a 2nd Synapse before the Burning Claws, I will make a Scorching Bow, as that can be useful in some places as well. If you guys have not done Tormented Demons yet, do not make the same mistake that I did. When I went to kill 2800 demonic gorillas, I used all my Arclight charges because I kept thinking that I would get the drop soon, and I would have leftover charges for Tormented Demons when they came out. Well, after 2800 demonics, I only had about 1000 charges left in my Arclight. Tormented Demons have a shield that reduces damage of non-demon weapons by 20%, so my second best in slot is a Voidwaker on stab, which is significantly worse than an Arclight. My Arclight currently has 43 charges remaining, and if it goes to 0, I will need another 10,000 charges to make an Emberlight. However, if I don't let it drop to 0, all I need is a Synapse drop and I can attach it. So from this point on, I am retiring the Arclight and full-time stabbing with my Voidwaker. Coming up to the end of the task, I did a few hour session at about 47 kills per hour. Not really that good, but still decent-ish Slayer XP. With the Arclight, I was getting about 55 kills per hour, so you can really notice how much worse not having a demon weapon is here. Another Nuridel task that I will be doing whenever I get assigned them is Araxxites. I did 100 kills of Araxxor on day 1 of release, and I mean, it was all struggles. I had almost no cooked food, so I was testing the boss with brews, and the draining of stats was just not working at all. Thankfully this is my second task, and now I actually know what I'm doing. I managed to climb to 250 Araxxor KC without seeing any drops yet, and at this point in time, the only drop I want from this boss is a Rancor Amulet, which is the new best in slot melee amulet. Noxious Point at 256 kill count. This is one of 3 pieces needed to create a halberd. I have zero clue what happened with this kill, but my zombie axe went absolutely nuclear and I managed a 1 minute and 3 second kill with my gear. Ooh, another Noxious Halberd piece. Being 2 out of 3, it would be silly not to finish it if I were to get a ranker next kill, so at this point, I'm just going to commit to completing the halberd as well. Only 4 kills later, we got the final halberd piece. This is a really old clip, only being a couple days after Araxxor, but the Noxious Halberd is actually a really useful weapon for us, as it's stronger than our whip, and we will probably be seeing it in future PvM scenarios. I just got 6-houred mid-kill. Funnily enough, that Noxious Halberd already got used because it was our best in slot for Tormented Demons. Not that it mattered for long though. Ooh, a Synapse. This Emeraldite actually looks really sick. Now I'm really excited for Tormented Demons. Unfortunately not lucky because no more drop stat task, however, things are looking good. Now that we have an Emeraldite, it is best in slot at Cerberus, meaning we can also do Hellhound tasks. This was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to lock myself to Bandos, because showing up to Cerb in full Bandos plus an Emeraldite is going to just be a lot of fun. Outside of a couple kills for CAs, this is my first time killing Cerberus. A lot of people dislike this boss because it's known as a supply drainer, but as a maxed Iron Man who already has thousands of prayer pots and restores, I immediately enjoyed this boss a lot. Yet another free CA task that I got by passively doing Cerberus normally. I'm not sure if this was a larger problem before the Emeraldite, but Cerberus has this mechanic where he'll talk about arrows and summon ghosts that will each drain your prayer by 30, totaling minus 90 prayer points. From my 10 kills that I've done so far, something I noticed is that with the Emeraldite being so powerful, I run into this mechanic a maximum of once per kill. Now, this is coming from a guy who just spent 71 hours at Bandos for a +1 strength bonus on his legs, but once you see the kills per hour here, in my opinion, the prayer pot usage isn't that bad when it's only once per kill. If I can keep pacing at roughly 50 kills per hour, this boss will only take me 10 hours to complete everything that I need to anyway. Ooh, a Pegasian Crystal. 86 kills in, we already have 1 crystal. Let's talk about the drops we want here. Cerberus drops 3 crystals for 3 boot upgrades. The Pegasians that we just got will go in our ranger boots. We also want Eternal boots and Primordial. Both of these are 1 in 512, and I mean, this is my first time ever doing this task, but I'm already averaging 48 kills per hour, so I don't think this should take long at all. Ooh! Synapse number 2 is very large for the account. Unfortunately, I can't find the clip where I got my first Burning Claw, but that happened around 500 kill count or so. I was just now racing to see if I would get the Scorching Bow or full Burning Claws first. Now that I have the bow, the rest of the grind is going to be even faster, because this bow is going to tear through the Tormented Demons compared to the Bofa. First trip testing the bow, and of course I haven't banked yet, so the XP is slightly inflated. However, we are getting 70 kills per hour. That's just insane. Another task completed, and unfortunately, still no second Burning Claw. For the most part, I'm just bouncing between Tormented Demons and Cerberus with no sign of Araxxites. It was time to add some tech to Cerberus and speed it up a little bit. I was going to start death piling. The run to Cerberus is excessively long, and if you bring a looting bag and an inventory of food and restores, they will drop to the floor as long as you have this gravestone setting set up in the game. These 50 food and restores that go to the ground can be used during your trip because they will stay there for 1 hour. Essentially, you run to Cerberus twice and have 3 inventories worth of supplies to use. It's not a huge difference, but it's something. Another tech that I've been trying to use is to run under Cerberus after hitting him. He attacks every 6 ticks, which is pretty slow, and since my weapon is 4 ticks, I can hit him twice and then walk under him, and not walk out until I can hit again. This makes me use significantly less food because he hits me less often, and his specials are based off the amount of times he hits you, so with him hitting me less often, I have been able to kill him without summoning any ghosts about 10 to 15% of the time, which is also a huge save on super restores. 354 kill count, Eternal Crystal. Only prims to go now. I also spent some Slayer points to finally unlock Basilisks for a jaw, which is an upgraded melee helm. So whenever I get this task, I just wear my best in slot melee and AFK for a bit. I have been trying to optimize this task, but honestly, it's mostly just AFK. I know most people range these, and I'm not sure the kills per hour, but I don't mind meleeing them since I still do about 20-minute trips. So in conclusion, after that Bandos prison, I am now locked to this variety of Slayer NPCs until we get all the upgrades we want. We still need prims from Cerberus, Ranger Amulet from Araxxor, Burning Claw from Tormented Demons, and the Jaw from Basilisks. I think this is a great point to stop today's video, so TY for watching everybody, and I really hope you all enjoyed it. Please don't forget to leave a like if you did, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.